Rapper, singer, record producer, and entrepreneur Wasalu Muhammad Jaco, better known by his stage name Lupe Fiasco, was born on February 17, 1982. He grew up one of 9 children on both the west side of Chicago as well as in the south suburbs of the city. On the west side, he spent his early years living in a room where he had to lay on the floor at night for fear of getting shot in his sleep. My west side upbringing was my introduction to the ghetto, gangs, drugs, prostitution, all that stuff. But there was also a level of culture there, of intellectualism.
I may have been born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me.
Lupe was just 5 years old when his parents divorced. He then lived with his mother, but his father continued to be a strong presence in his life. He began developing his musical taste even before he started school, becoming interested in Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, and jazz. His mother describes him as smart, a bit complex, and kind of a loner. She also says that he read a lot and became known as the neighborhood nerd. He always had the glasses, always had a book bag over his shoulder, and some type of writing tablet. He loved to skateboard too. You could hear those little raggedy wheels all night long. When Lupe was in the 6th grade, he moved in with his father, who lived in Harvey until he became of age. That environment also had its issues. His father lived next door to a crack house and taught Lupe to use guns to defend himself from drug dealers. His martial arts expert father would also help his son earn 4 black belts. Since he struggled to learn to play an instrument, Lupe opted to create poetry instead, which led to his interest in the lyrical aspects of music. Eventually, he would begin rapping his poems, and after being inspired by Nas's 1996 album It Was Written, started to embrace hip-hop. Growing up, he was given the nickname Lou, the last part of his first name. He extended it to Lupe after borrowing it from a friend. Fiasco came from the East Coast supergroup The Firm's song, Firm Fiasco. By the time he was 17 years old, Lupe began taking the pursuit of a career in music seriously. While his parents weren't thrilled about the decision, his father still allowed him to set up a recording and mixing studio in the basement of his house to make demo tapes. Soon, Lupe would form his own rap group and they would sign with Epic Records. The success of the group was short-lived though, and they disbanded after releasing just 1 single. Lupe later secured a recording contract with Arista, but again, more disappointment followed when that deal fell through. During his short tenure there, however, he got the opportunity to meet Jay-Z, who was the president of Def Jam Recordings at the time. Jay helped Lupe finally get a deal that would stick with Atlantic Records. While he worked on his debut album, Lupe released his critically acclaimed mixtape series, Fahrenheit 115, online. As word spread, he quickly amassed a global fan base. After connecting with fellow Chi-Town rapper Kanye West, Lupe got his first taste of commercial success when he appeared on the hit song Touch the Sky from Kanye's 2005 album Late Registration. After that, Lupe's first single, called Kick Push, a story of a boy and his love for skateboarding, was released earlier than expected in April 2006.
Kick, push, coast.
It appeared on his debut album Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor, executive produced by Jay-Z. The project scored 4 Grammy nominations and walked away with 1 win in the Best Urban Alternative Performance category for Daydreamin'. Lupe was on his way. He would release 7 more full albums over the next 16 years. The journey, though, would be full of many ups and downs. While recording his second album, 2007's Lupe Fiasco's The Cool, his father passed away, and his business partner was sentenced to 44 years in prison on a drug charge. Naturally, these events greatly affected Lupe and the subsequent themes discussed on the record. The album was well received by critics, and the lead single, Superstar, became his first top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. He also collected 4 more Grammy nominations. In early 2010, Lupe claimed that his third album, Lasers, was complete and waiting for a release date from his label, Atlantic. But they feared that the project lacked hit singles and presented him with songs they wanted him to record. He declined, and in response, Lupe's fans created an online petition demanding that Atlantic release the project. It was signed by 30,000 supporters and followed by a fan protest outside the label's New York City offices. Lasers became his first album to debut at number 1 on the albums chart, received 3 Grammy nominations, and features his highest charting single to date, The Show Goes On, which peaked at number 9. Over the years, Lupe's never had any major issues with any of his peers in the industry. That all changed, though, in January 2015, when he went head-to-head with rapper Kid Cudi on Twitter. At the time, it started when Kidd made a statement regarding artists speaking on the unrest in Ferguson, Missouri, following the death of Michael Brown by a white police officer. Upon seeing the tweet, Lupe reacted bluntly, saying, "Shut up, FOH, for f out of here." It went downhill from there. At the end of 2022, Lupe jumped on Twitter again to address a fan's question to him about ending his feud with Kid Cudi. In response, he made it very clear that wasn't going to happen. "Never. Fuck him for life," responded Lupe in a since-deleted tweet. In December 2016, Lupe released his NERD freestyle, which included a line that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Artists getting robbed for their publishing by dirty Jewish execs that think his am's from the Covenant. Brian DJ Z Zizuk of hip-hop website DJ Booth, who is Jewish, wrote an editorial denouncing that line for its alleged anti-Semitism. The track was then apparently removed by SoundCloud for hate speech. Lupe ultimately tweeted that he saw the situation as a sign from God to retire from music for good. No, for real this time, since Lupe has been known in the past to make that same declaration only to reappear. And to no surprise, this time was no different. His efforts to propagate conscious material garnered recognition as a Henry Crown Fellow, and he's a recipient of the MLK Visiting Professorship Program at MIT for the 2022-2023 academic year. Lupe's already dropped several standalone tracks this year, including Scent Rock, Check-In, and Channel Number 3. He's also currently on tour with reggae rock band Dirty Heads on the Island Glow Tour 2023.